Hi there, my name is Hannah. I talk a lot about sex online, and today I'm really excited because this is the start of a new series, Pleasure Trove. You've heard of your bog standard favourites video. Hell, I have done many of those, and I do love a good favourites video, but I just feel like I needed a place to put all of my sexy favourites. Anything to do with sex, dating, relationships, sex positivity, all of that good stuff. I just wanted to have a regular series on this channel where we talk about arts and culture, education, and also news and some products and stuff like that. So welcome to the Pleasure Trove. Do you like the name of it? One of my lovely patrons actually came up with it. If you are a patron, you get to know about new series and things that are happening in advance and maybe be a part of the creative process. I often use you guys as my feedback group, as my focus group. So thank you. But yes, I am very excited about this new series and I hope that you are too. Please do give it a thumbs up if you are. And let's just dive straight into news. News. When has Hannah ever done news and current affairs? But this is relevant, guys. Northern Ireland, marriage equality and abortion rights. What? For years now, Northern Ireland has been the only part of the UK that has not had marriage equality or abortion rights. But that all changed in July when the House of Commons passed a new piece of legislation. The legislation was to do with Northern Irish politics, which, quite frankly, and I'm sorry, I don't understand. My level of understanding is dairy girls. But basically, there were two amendments that were added to the bill. One was to extend same-sex marriage rights to Northern Ireland, and the second was to extend abortion rights to Northern Ireland. Let me get these numbers right. The same-sex marriage proposal passed by 383 to 73 votes, and the abortion rights proposal passed by 332 to 99 votes. Now, yes, that is a huge landslide. That is a huge win. But who are these 73 people voting against extending same-sex marriage to Northern Ireland? And who are these 99 people voting against extending abortion rights to Northern Ireland? Now might be a good time for us all to check who our MP is and how they voted in this, because damn, sorry to put a downer on this otherwise good news, but it's important to know because these people represent us and we need to know what they're voting for, how they're voting, and if there's anything that we can do to change their minds. Oh, also I've gone for like the most childish hairstyle possible for a video about sexy things, so that's how I roll. I love the juxtaposition. Next up is something from YouTube, which is Sex Ed School by Shaftesbury Kids, which is a Canadian YouTube channel, and fellow sex educator, sex researcher Eva Bloom is one of the hosts of it, and it is brilliant. It basically is what it says on the tin. It is Sex Ed School. There is a class of kids that are being taught a lesson, and then it is filmed, and so you watching at home can also learn the lesson. You as in parent, child, whatever. It is so smart, so necessary, and beautifully age appropriate. The kids are so cute and the things that they talk about with each other, oh, I love it. Here are some of the topics that they have been covering: consent, kissing, puberty, gender, orientation, and genitals. Seriously, give it a watch. Even if you don't have kids, even if you're not a child anymore yourself, it's just really good to understand how to talk to children about these things and when questions occur. And then it also might help us as adults unpack some of the things that we were taught when we were younger, because ideally this sex ed school would have been the sex education that, we all needed and all deserved, but alas, we did not all get that. But yes, I would highly recommend. I have some Instagram account recommendations for you to follow if you are interested in sex education, sex positivity, and all of those things. The first is Ruby Rare. She is an artist, a sex educator, a body positive campaigner. She is incredible. I only found her on Instagram recently and I'm just like, what was my life before this joyous human like came into my online world? She talks a lot about being bisexual, being non-monogamous, her work as a sex educator. She does all of these beautiful illustrations on her Instagram as well. And she also talks a lot about body positivity and being nude. And I would just highly recommend that you follow her for just pure joy and fierceness. The second Instagram account that I want to recommend is Sex Positive Families. There is a bit of a child theme in this video. I was over the moon when I found this account, and also over the moon at seeing how popular it is, in that there are parents and families out there who are really thinking about this, who want to raise their kids sex positive and want to be able to like have these conversations with their children, but they also want to be responsible about it. And this Instagram account is just a wealth of information. I've even been like going into the comments on some of the posts and just finding such golden nuggets of information in there. Hannah, why are you so obsessed with sex education for kids? You gonna have kids soon? Speaking of children, I read Motherhood by Sheila Heti this month. Ooh, this had been recommended to me so many times and I waited until the paperback came out and I finally got it. And it is basically this surreal thought exercise in whether or not the narrator wants to have children or not, and the ethical, moral implications of that. She is nearing 40 and a lot of her friends are having babies, have had babies, and she doesn't want to have any, it would seem, but she's toying with or battling with all of the messages that society is shoving down her throat. For most of this book, you are just in her head as she is figuring all of this shit out. And there is one specific bit that I have dogged that I want to read to you. There is no inherent good in being born. The child would not otherwise miss its life. Nothing harms the earth more than another person, and nothing harms a person more than being born. If I really wanted to have a baby, it would be better to adopt. Even better would be to give the money I would have spent on raising a child to those organisations that give women who can't afford it condoms and birth control and education and abortions, and so save these women's lives. That would be a more worthwhile contribution to this world than adding one more troubled person from my own troubled womb. Oh! After reading this, not gonna lie, I felt guilty about wanting to have children. There is no right answer. Jesus. But if you are interested in a bit of a philosophical exercise about having children, not having children, what is motherhood, would highly recommend. My TV show recommendation for you is Gentleman Jack, which is based on the secret diaries of Anne Lister, who was a real person. It is a BBC drama about Anne Lister and her lovers. Basically, she was a very wealthy woman, a member of the land-owning class in the 18th century, I want to say, and she wrote some diaries, and she wrote a lot of them in code. And then in the 20th century, when the code was broken, it was discovered that she was writing all about her saucy love affairs with women, and everyone freaked out. But now it's 2019, and instead of being all hush-hush about it, we're making TV shows about it! Yes, Anne Lister, finally getting her time. I studied a bit of Anne Lister when I was at uni because I did history and I specialised in sexual history, so I was very excited to watch the TV show. If you like period dramas and you like women and you like gay stuff, you will like Gentleman Jack. It was interesting to see the historical context being played out in the show as well. Historically, being a woman who slept with other women was not a criminal offence. It was never made illegal. However, if you were a man who slept with other men, that was a criminal offence. So because of that, and because Anne Lister was a very wealthy woman and she had a lot of independence because of her money, it meant that she was free to kind of do what she wanted, have the relationships that she wanted, but obviously she still had to keep it in a secret code in her secret diary. Here's a little fun nugget of information for you. In the early 20th century, the government actually tried to criminalise lesbianism, but that bill was never passed because they thought that it would give women ideas. Really? Really? I think we knew. I think we knew about it. Oh, men. Men. And on to some physical items. I don't even know if I'm doing this properly. This is my mini flogger that I made myself. I made it at Eroticon, and there was this company there called Kink Craft, and they basically do lots of fun crafty things to make your own kinky devices. So I made this mini flogger myself, and I'm very proud of it. Yeah, and I believe Kink Craft do lots of different tutorials and workshops and stuff, and you can make all sorts of things with them, not just little mini floggers. Did that make a good sound? That was kind of cool. Ooh. What are these things? You might be thinking. Well, basically, I saw someone post a thing on Twitter or on Instagram or something of some genital cookies. And so I had to find where they're from. They are from this company called Bakerology. No, it's not Bakerology. It's like Bakerology. Bakerology? Bakerology. I don't know. They do cookie cutters for so many different things, but if you go to the like adult section, you will find some of these glorious things. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see a video of me baking cookies with these, because I bought them so long ago and I still haven't like actually made any cookies with them, but I really want to. This is what I have. I hope that you can actually see what it is. So we have a vulva and a penis, and then we have the internal anatomy of a penis. We have the internal anatomy of a clitoris, and we have the internal anatomy of the fallopian tubes, womb, vagina, cervix area. But yes, these bring me joy, but I need to bake some cookies. Thank you so much for watching this first episode of Pleasure Trove. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and let me know some of your sexy favorites. It can be arts, culture, books, news, anything that you think that I should shout out in future episodes of these. Let me know. And don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Oh God. Speaking of children, I read, oh, it's upside down.